In our last video, we actualized our financial model for January actuals for the profit and loss. Now it's time to repeat those steps, but this time for the balance sheet. And remember, anytime that we have a new account on the balance sheet, we'll need to not only update the drivers and balance sheet tab, but this time we'll also need to update the cash flows tab. So let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at our accounts. And again, doing the same thing that we did last time. I am just going to flip to my actuals file over here. And I'm going to enter in two new columns. And let's just make these a little bigger. And again, I am going to double check. Does the checking account over here equal the checking account or the account that I see over here? And I'm just going to hit F4 twice to remove the dollar signs. And I'll hit enter. Okay, perfect. Looks like it does. Now let's just do one more thing. I'm going to say equals count if this entire column, if it contains this balance over here, or this account. And I'm going to say it's greater than 0. Okay, looks like we are set up. So now let's just take this information. Let's copy. Let's come all the way down. And let's simply hit the paste. Okay, so now once again, we can see that we have a new account called line of credit. All the accounts match up in terms of the position, and then all of the accounts seem to be present besides for this line of credit. Now, if we had another account that didn't show, it would just show another false here, but everything below this account would show a false because of the position being off by that. So let's go ahead and add in line of credit to our source tab over here. And I will say a line of credit. Perfect. Now let's take this information. Let's double check that it works by copying this data, coming down and pasting. And it looks like everything now is true, so we are ready to actualize. I'm going to take our information starting from January 2023. I'll copy, and then I'll hold down Control, Shift, and the right arrow. I'll copy all of this information. Then I'll come over to our balance sheet source tab over here, and let's paste it in. All right, looks like all the information lined up accordingly. Now I can just write 1/31/2025, and let's just copy the formatting from December. Alt-HVR. And I probably need to do the same thing with my income statement. I didn't do that earlier, so let's just add January 25. Perfect. Okay, now I need to add that row to our drivers tab. So I'm gonna come down here under accrued interest. I'm gonna select accrued interest here. I'm gonna come down and hit Control plus, and I am now going to call this line of credit. Perfect. And now let's just double check. All right, it looks like I need to reset the liabilities because this is over here, the calculation. Let me just collapse this. Let's expand the annual and quarterly. And I will just include this reference over here. And let's just copy this forward. As such. Okay, now that we have the line of credit actually pulling in correctly, I'm gonna come to the balance sheet and I'm gonna now do the same thing that we did with our income statement. So I'm gonna press Control C on accrued interest. I'll come down, I'll hit Control plus, and I will call this line of credit. Now, just like we did with the income statement, we need to set the subtotal. So total long-term liabilities needs to also include this line of credit. And then total liabilities will also need to include that line of credit. Excellent. Now we just got to do one last thing, and that is on our cash flows, include that. So under accrued interest, I'm going to copy this information and I will hit a plus as such. And we are going to call this line of credit. And let's just double check. Looks like it is pulling in correctly. Excellent. Okay. Now everything is working. We are ready to officially roll forward our accounts. And the only thing that we need to do in this case, let's collapse the annual and quarterly on the drivers tab, is we need to go to the last month of actuals, which in this case is December, and we need to select this entire column, copy it, and then paste it to the right. Because remember, the drivers is split between the actuals and the projections. So in this case, we have all of our actuals here. We need to now include one more month of actuals. So I'm going to copy this here, and I'm going to paste as such. Now this still says projection, even though I actualized it, and that's because we need to change the name manager to showcase our new month of actuals. So I'm going to go to name manager and we are going to click on latest month of actuals. I'm going to edit it and I'm going to select January 2025 over here. Now let's click OK and close. And as you can see, this now says actual. And it looks like all of our information is properly rolled forward. If I go to the error check, I don't see any errors here. But if I come here and just change a value to whatever amount that I want, you'll see that the error does flow through. That's because we have our financials now rolled forward. And now that the information is rolled forward, we can do a budget versus actuals analysis. Let's do that in the next video.